How do we mitigate bias in feedback situations? And it really begins with being aware of what are some of the biases that are common among different people and that we might hold for ourselves. Here are some starting points, I would say, for trying to mitigate bias. And this is in feedback and also performance review more broadly. One is what some of you have already alluded to, the need to simply have clear expectations to begin with. That's a help for everyone. Trying to have some objective criteria in place. So things like, instead of having a prompt that talks about how has someone performed generally, maybe saying, let's look at two technical aspects of their performance and two managerial aspects of their performance. Giving specific, concrete prompts. So before you give feedback, instead of thinking broadly, how are they performing, saying, I'm going to come up with 3 measurable outcomes I can discuss with everyone. There's going to be 3 different of those outcomes. And again, they might be very different in performance, but it's going to be more specific and more concrete than those broad general statements. Consistency checking, thinking about, maybe you're looking over your reports. You've spent 3 weeks working on them. Maybe the ones you were doing at the beginning are a little different from the ones that you're doing at the end, going back and reviewing that. Or asking yourself simply, would I give the same feedback to a woman as I'm giving to this man? Would I give the same feedback to an older person that I'm giving to this younger person? So you can put some consistency checks in for yourself. And finally, maybe discussing with other people your own perceptions to make sure that it's not an outlier, that your perceptions are reasonable as seen by other people. Things like having a rubric or a checklist to think through issues before you have that conversation or that performance review with folks. These are a few starting points for trying to be aware of and mitigate bias in these kinds of interactions.